Living with someone who manipulates or belittles you can be extremely challenging. Unfortunately, this is a reality for those sharing their lives with a narcissist. Narcissism, a term you may have heard often, but do you know what it truly signifies? It encompasses more than an inflated ego or self-centeredness. It's a personality disorder that can significantly impact relationships. Narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, is characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a conspicuous lack of empathy for others. People with NPD often leave a trail of broken relationships in their wake, their behavior marked by manipulation, criticism, and a tactic called gaslighting. The term gaslighting, originating from the 1944 film Gaslight, refers to a manipulative strategy where an individual, to gain power and control, makes others question their reality. It ranges from overtly denying something that occurred to subtly shifting the blame onto you. Sharing your life with a narcissist can feel like constantly walking on eggshells, always anticipating the next emotional explosion or moment of harsh criticism. It's an exhausting and isolating experience, but it's crucial to recall that you're not alone, and there are strategies that can help you navigate this tricky terrain. In this video, we'll explore the world of narcissism, focusing on the typical behaviors of those with NPD. More crucially, we'll 12 survival tips for cohabiting with a narcissist. These tips will enlighten you about the dynamics at play, assist you in setting and reinforcing boundaries, and safeguard your mental and emotional health. So, fasten your seatbelts and get ready for a journey of understanding, resilience, and empowerment. So if you're enjoying this video so far, like it and subscribe to our channel. First off, it's crucial to understand what narcissism is. Narcissism, at its core, is an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. But behind this mask of extreme confidence lies a fragile self-esteem that is vulnerable to the slightest criticism. This is not to be mistaken with a healthy sense of self-confidence. Narcissism is a psychological condition known as narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD for short. It's a long-term pattern of abnormal behavior characterized by exaggerated feelings of self-importance, excessive need for admiration, and a lack of understanding of others' feelings. Now let's discuss some common symptoms and behaviors. People with NPD tend to have a grandiose sense of self-importance, often exaggerating their abilities and achievements. They might be preoccupied with fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or the perfect mate. They believe they are superior and can only associate with equally special people. They require constant, excessive admiration and have a sense of entitlement, expecting special treatment without any reciprocation. They take advantage of others to get what they want, showing an utter lack of empathy. They are often envious of others and believe others envy them. Frequent displays of arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes are also common. It's important to note that having some of these traits doesn't necessarily mean a person has NPD. We all have moments of vanity or selfishness. It's when these behaviors are persistent, pervasive, and damaging to relationships that NPD might be at play. Understanding narcissism can help you better navigate living with a narcissist. It's the first step towards recognizing their behaviors, setting boundaries, and seeking support. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this case, it's a tool for survival. Recognizing narcissistic behaviors can be a powerful tool. Let's delve into some common behaviors often exhibited by those with narcissistic personality disorder. First up, manipulation. This is a key weapon in a narcissist's arsenal. It's a way for them to control situations and people, bending reality to suit their narrative. They might use guilt, blame, or even charm to twist situations in their favor. Then there's criticism. Narcissists are often excessively critical, belittling others to elevate themselves. They may come across as overly judgmental, constantly pointing out your flaws or mistakes. It's important to remember that this criticism is more a reflection of their own insecurities than of your worth. We also have gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation where a person seeks to sow seeds of doubt in a targeted individual, making them question their own memory, perception, or sanity. It's a subtle yet destructive tactic, often leaving the victim feeling confused and disoriented. Finally, narcissists may exhibit a lack of empathy. They struggle to understand or share the feelings of others, often disregarding the emotions and needs of the people around them. Their primary focus is on their own desires and feelings. These behaviors can be quite challenging to deal with, but understanding them is a significant step towards navigating a relationship with a narcissist. It's crucial to remember that these behaviors are part of a disorder, not a reflection of your worth or reality. Identifying these behaviors can help you set boundaries and protect yourself. As we continue, we'll explore further strategies to help manage these behaviors and maintain your mental and emotional well-being. Positive reinforcement can be a useful strategy. Now let's delve into how complementing positive actions can help manage a narcissist's behavior. When interacting with a narcissist, it's important to remember that they crave validation and admiration. However, mindlessly feeding this craving can lead to an unhealthy dynamic. Instead, we can use this need for validation to encourage healthier behaviors. Think of it as a gentle nudge in the right direction. When a narcissist exhibits a positive action, perhaps a moment of empathy or a kind gesture, acknowledge it. A sincere compliment can go a long way. This reinforces the behavior, showing them that such actions are appreciated and garner positive attention. But here's where it gets tricky. It's vital to ensure that your compliments are genuine and pertain specifically to the positive action. Generic praises or flattery can come across as insincere and may not bring about the desired result. Instead, focus on the behavior. For instance, you might say, "I appreciate how patient you were in that meeting," or "the kindness you showed to that person was really commendable." This strategy is not about manipulating the narcissist, but rather guiding them towards healthier interactions. It can be a delicate balancing act, but remember, the goal is to encourage positive actions. One crucial point to bear in mind is to never compliment a narcissist at the expense of your own self-esteem or values. Your well-being should always be the priority. Complimenting should never turn into appeasement. And lastly, while this technique can be beneficial, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Every individual is unique, and what works for one person might not work for another. This strategy is one tool in a toolbox, a part of a broader approach to manage relationships with narcissists. Remember, it's about encouraging healthy behaviors, not feeding their ego. You have a right to your privacy. This is not just a statement, but a fundamental truth we must all recognize. When dealing with individuals who possess a narcissistic personality, maintaining your privacy becomes even more critical. Why, you might ask? Well, narcissists are often skilled manipulators, using personal information as a tool to control and influence those around them. Imagine your personal information as a chessboard. Each piece represents a different aspect of your life. The more pieces a narcissist can access, the more control they can exert over the game. By limiting the pieces they can play with, you limit their ability to manipulate and control the game. Now, this doesn't mean you should build an impenetrable fortress around yourself. No, it's about being mindful of what you share and with whom you share it. It's about recognizing that not every detail of your life needs to be an open book. For instance, consider keeping financial or health-related matters to yourself unless it's absolutely necessary to share. Similarly, your past experiences, personal aspirations, and deep-seated fears are yours to share at your discretion. These are elements of your life that, when shared with a narcissist, can be twisted and used against you. Remember, it's not about hiding who you are. It's about preserving your autonomy and self-esteem. It's about preventing your personal information from being used as a weapon against you. In this dance with a narcissist, knowledge is power. The less they know, the less they can use to their advantage. So, be selective, be mindful, and above all, respect your right to privacy. Protecting your personal information can help maintain your independence and self-esteem. Boundaries are a crucial part of any relationship. They define your personal space, your comfort zone, and your limits. When dealing with a narcissist, setting and reinforcing boundaries becomes even more essential. But how exactly do you set boundaries with a narcissist? It begins with understanding your own needs and values. What are the things you're okay with, and what are the things you're not. Once you've identified these, communicate them clearly and assertively. Remember, it's not about being confrontational, but about expressing your needs in a respectful manner. Now, setting boundaries is only half the battle. The real challenge lies in reinforcing them. Narcissists, by their nature, tend to push and test boundaries. They may react negatively when you enforce your limits, resorting to manipulation or guilt-tripping to get their way. It's important to anticipate this and prepare yourself to stay firm. One effective strategy is to use I statements instead of you statements. For instance, instead of saying, "You can't talk to me like that," try saying, "I feel disrespected when you talk to me like that." This way, you're expressing your feelings without blaming or criticizing, which can help prevent defensive reactions. Another technique is to follow through with consequences if your boundaries are violated. This shows the narcissist that there are repercussions for overstepping. However, ensure that the consequences are reasonable, consistent, and something you're willing and able to enforce. Remember, setting and reinforcing boundaries is not about punishing the narcissist or trying to change them. It's about protecting your well-being and maintaining your self-respect. It's about creating a healthier dynamic where your needs and feelings are acknowledged and respected. It might feel difficult at first, and that's okay. It's a process and it takes practice. You might stumble and the narcissist might resist, but don't get discouraged. Keep reinforcing your boundaries, keep asserting your needs. Stand firm on your boundaries. They are there to protect you. And remember, you are not alone in this journey. Reach out to supportive friends, family, or a therapist who can provide guidance and encouragement along the way. Narcissists can be volatile. A simple statement that carries a deep truth. One of the most challenging aspects of dealing with narcissists is navigating their emotional outbursts. These episodes can be intense, unpredictable, and often emotionally draining. What's crucial to remember is that these outbursts are not about you. They are a reflection of the narcissist's internal struggles and insecurities. Their outbursts are often a way of diverting attention from their own perceived shortcomings and projecting them onto others. They could also be a means of exerting control and dominance in the relationship. Now, why is it important to disengage from these emotional outbursts? For starters, engaging with them can lead to an escalation of the situation. You may find yourself becoming more emotionally involved and less able to think clearly and rationally. This can make it harder for you to protect your own emotional well-being. Disengaging doesn't mean ignoring or dismissing their feelings. It's about recognizing that you cannot control or change their emotions. You can only control your own reaction. So when they're in the throes of an outburst, try to stay calm and composed. Respond, don't react. It's easier said than done, but with practice you can master this skill. Also, remember that it's okay to walk away when things get heated. You have the right to protect your mental and emotional health. If you find yourself in the midst of a narcissist's outburst, take a step back, breathe, and give yourself permission to exit the situation. Finally, it's important to note that disengaging is not a one-size-fits-all strategy. What works for one person may not work for another, but it's a valuable tool to have in your toolbox when dealing with a narcissist's emotional outbursts. Remember, their outbursts are about them, not you. This mantra can serve as a compass to guide you through the stormy seas of a narcissist's emotional tempests. It reminds you to prioritize your own emotional well-being and validates your right to disengage when necessary. Criticism is a common tool for narcissists. They often use it as a way to exert control and undermine your self-esteem. But remember, you have the power to decide how much weight you give to their words. Narcissists have a knack for turning every situation to their advantage, often resorting to criticism to make you doubt yourself. It's important to recognize this as a manipulation tactic rather than a reflection of your worth or abilities. They may target your insecurities or even invent flaws to make you feel inadequate. This is not about you, it's about their need to feel superior. So how can you effectively ignore these criticisms? It starts with understanding that the narcissist's words are not the truth. They are merely weapons wielded in an attempt to control you. Once you realize this, you can begin to detach your self-worth from their harsh words. Avoid self-blame, It's easy to internalize the constant criticism and start believing you're at fault. But remember, the narcissist uses criticism as a tool, not as a fair evaluation of your worth. You're not responsible for their behavior, nor are you required to change yourself to meet their unrealistic expectations. Try to distance yourself emotionally from the criticism. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, but rather acknowledging them and then letting them go. Understand that their criticisms are more about them than about you. They reflect their own insecurities and fears, not your shortcomings. Also, it's important to surround yourself with positive influences. Seek out friends, family, or professionals who can provide a balanced perspective and remind you of your worth. Their support can also help you develop resilience against the narcissist's criticisms. In the end, remember this: you are not the problem. Don't let their criticisms define you. You are so much more than the unfair judgments of a narcissist. By learning to ignore their criticisms, you're taking a crucial step towards reclaiming your self-esteem and personal power. Negotiation can be a useful skill when dealing with a narcissist. Now, let's delve into the art of negotiation, a crucial tool for managing interactions with a narcissist. On the surface, negotiation might seem like a simple exchange, but when dealing with a narcissist, it's crucial to understand that it's much more than that. It's about managing the conversation in a way that ensures your needs are addressed while also acknowledging the narcissist's perspective. First and foremost, clarity is key. Clearly express your needs and wants in the conversation. Be specific and avoid ambiguity. Vague statements can be twisted and used against you. Next, remember the importance of emotional detachment. Negotiating with a narcissist can be an emotional minefield. Their aim is often to provoke a response, to make you lose control. Don't give them that satisfaction. Keep your emotions in check, respond calmly and rationally. Another strategy is to use we statements instead of I. This helps in creating an illusion of a shared goal, making the narcissist feel included. It's not about manipulation, it's about effective communication. It's also helpful to understand the narcissist's need for validation. Compliment them on their insights or ideas when it's appropriate. This can ease tension and make the negotiation process smoother. Lastly, remember to set firm boundaries. Negotiation isn't about giving in to every demand. It's about finding common ground while also ensuring your own needs are met. Don't be afraid to say no when necessary. Remember, the goal of negotiation isn't to win an argument. It's to create a dialogue that respects both parties' needs and wants. It's about maintaining control and not allowing the narcissist to steer the relationship in a direction that serves only them. Negotiation can help you maintain control in the relationship. And with these strategies in mind, you're well equipped to navigate these complex interactions. Narcissists are known for making grandiose promises. They often paint a captivating picture of the future, filled with grand plans and shared dreams. This can be particularly alluring, especially when it aligns with our own hopes and aspirations. However, it's crucial to understand that these promises can be part of a manipulation tactic. The grandiose promises of a narcissist often serve two purposes. First, they're designed to hook you in, to make you believe in a future that may never come to fruition. Second, they're used to shift the focus away from their current behavior. They may use these promises as a smokescreen to distract from their actions in the present. When narcissists make these extravagant promises, they're rarely thinking about the follow-through. The promise is the end game, not the fulfillment of it. They thrive on the immediate gratification that comes from seeing your hope and excitement. But when the time comes to deliver on their promises, they often fall short. So how can we be mindful of these grandiose promises? The key is to remain grounded in reality. Don't let these promises cloud your judgment or override your intuition. It's important to remember that promises are just words until they're backed up by action. Pay close attention to the consistency between what a narcissist says and what they do. If you notice a pattern of broken promises, it's a clear sign that their words may not hold much weight. Remember, it's okay to hope for the best, but always prepare for the possibility that these grand promises may not materialize. Protect yourself by maintaining realistic expectations and not becoming overly reliant on the fulfillment of these promises. In the end, it's crucial not to let these grandiose promises distract you from the present. Focus on their actions, not their words, because when all is said and done, remember, actions speak louder than words. Therapy can be a valuable resource. This statement rings true for many of life's challenges, and living with a narcissist is undoubtedly one of them. When you're entangled in a relationship with a narcissist, it can feel as if you're trapped in a maze with no clear way out. This is where therapy steps in as an invaluable guiding light. Therapy can provide a safe space where you can express and explore your feelings without judgment. It can help you to untangle the complex emotions that often accompany narcissistic relationships. Feelings of guilt, self-doubt, or even shame can be hard to navigate alone. A trained therapist can help you acknowledge these feelings, understand them better, and most importantly, guide you on how to manage them effectively. Furthermore, therapy can equip you with the tools and strategies necessary to cope with narcissistic behavior. It can help you identify patterns, understand the tactics employed by the narcissist, and learn how to respond in a way that protects your mental and emotional well-being. Therapy can also offer crucial perspective. When you're in the thick of a narcissistic relationship, it can be hard to see the forest for the trees. A therapist, standing on the outside looking in, can provide that much-needed wider view, helping you to see the situation for what it truly is. And let's not forget about the power of validation. Living with a narcissist can be an isolating experience, filled with gaslighting and manipulation that can make you question your own reality. In therapy, your experiences are acknowledged and validated, which can be incredibly healing. Importantly, therapy is not a sign of weakness, rather it's a testament to your strength and resilience. It takes courage to seek help and to make the commitment to bettering your situation and yourself. You don't have to go through this alone. Help is available. Remember, it's okay to reach out, to seek support, to take that step towards healing. You are not alone. Living with a narcissist can be challenging, but remember, you're not alone. Our journey today has taken us through the labyrinth of narcissism, understanding its complexities and how it can affect everyday life. We've highlighted 12 survival tips, each one a crucial tool in your toolbox for navigating the turbulent waters of living with a narcissist. We began by understanding narcissism, shedding light on what this personality disorder entails. Remember, knowledge is power. Identifying common behaviors was our next step, providing you with the ability to recognize narcissistic patterns and react accordingly. We also discussed the importance of complementing positive actions. This not only encourages healthier behavior, but can also create a more harmonious environment. Limiting the personal information you share can protect you from manipulation and use of that information against you. Setting and reinforcing boundaries is a vital step in maintaining your personal space and dignity. And when the emotional outbursts occur, as they often do, learning to disengage can be your saving grace. Ignoring criticisms, often easier said than done, can shield your self-esteem from unnecessary damage. We also touched upon learning to negotiate, a skill that can turn seemingly impossible situations into manageable ones. Being mindful of grandiose promises is another crucial point. Remember, actions speak louder than words. And lastly, we emphasize seeking therapy, a safe space where you can express your feelings, learn coping mechanisms, and gain further understanding of your situation. Above all, remember the importance of self-care and support. Taking care of your own mental and emotional health is paramount. Reach out to trusted friends, family, or professionals for support. You're not alone in this journey. If you found this video useful, please leave a comment below and share your experience of living with a narcissist. Also, don't go just yet though. Watch the next video on your screen. Remember, your story could help others in similar situations.